This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friends and I gather together and we gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month, you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where Ben, Saturn, Oates, and myself don't feel like playing anything, so we watch something and talk over it instead. And $2 is the grab bag tier. It's everything else. It's a little inconsistent. You get what you pay for. All of that and more is at patreon.com/thegorge. Thanks.
You are going to want to check out this month's Takeout.
This month's Takeout?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been doing them for that long. You know, I've done like the last 3 and then Food Fight at some point before that, right?
Yes.
This is definitely the worst one that I have personally seen on the show.
It's one of the worst that we've ever had to do. Yeah.
I'll watch Food Fight again over what we did.
I'm never watching that thing again.
Just incredible. Totally worth it.
Complete waste of everybody's time, especially if you're one of the poor saps who put money into making that film exist.
If you were in that movie, I'm sorry.
Well, you know. Oops.
Sorry, Virgil.
Sorry, Virgil. Sorry, Dan Southworth. You know, it was a time.
It was. The early aughts were a time.
They sure were. Anyways, this is what is this episode? This is just a fucking
talk about what we
roundup.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you been doing?
Not much. Watching Star Trek and working. And that's about it.
I've been promoted, so I'm working as a manager assistant now, and I hate it. So there's that. And I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. I'm deep into Voyager. Earlier, as in like just before recording, we got to the episode where we get introduced to Jerry Ryan's 7 of 9, which is great. Love the character.
Wow, you're on a tear.
Yeah.
The answer is in the first 10 minutes I know when I need to skip an episode because I've seen Voyager before, so I already know what the plot line's gonna be. And a lot of the first 3 seasons are real misogynist pieces of shit.
They're real stinkers, folks.
Have you been watching any of it without Sarah?
Just like every now and then I'll come in and see like bits and pieces of an episode. I have now missed both Q episodes. Sad to report.
Tragic.
But I will come back.
Did Oates drag you to the couch to make you watch Tuvix?
No, I haven't watched. I kind of saw Tuvix and then I was busy with working, so I couldn't come watch the Tuvix episode. But I will. I'm going to eventually. There is enough interesting shit in Voyager that I will watch Voyager once I'm done with Deep Space Nine. So, you know, it's fine. I'm going to eventually end up watching Voyager too. I might as well. If I'm going to watch the 2 of the 3 90s Star Treks,
may as well make
you gotta cap it off.
Yeah, you gotta get all of them in.
And like Sarah did get me to watch the season open, like the series premiere of Deep Space Nine. So at some point I'm gonna alternate watching them. Basically, whenever I know there's like a really good 7 episode coming up, I'll like put it on the back burner and just pop over to Deep Space Nine so Sarah doesn't miss it.
That's right. So that way I can actually, you know, eventually she'll get caught up, and then I can also get back to watching Deep Space Nine. So
yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
And then Sarah can see Jerry Ryan in her insanely vacuum-formed suit.
You know, it's fine. Star Trek.
It's in space. You gotta have one.
That's right.
It's very. The funniest detail is it is the normal Starfleet officer uniform, but they very clearly have vacuum formed it to her chest.
Yeah. They're like, we know that Jerry Ryan is beautiful. We're going to take advantage of having her at our disposal. So yeah.
That's correct.
I'm looking at a picture of her now, and I've seen this character before. I'm surprised to learn she's in Star Trek and not in like Battlestar Galactica.
She looks like a Battlestar Galactica actress, yeah.
I need to Jerry Ryan showing up in the show is, I think, the main reason it got a full 7 seasons of being instead of being canceled after like 4.
Right.
Jerry Ryan very the series very pointedly changed direction and tone very drastically when she shows up, and it becomes a very different show for the better. And there's a good reason why it got renewed after her introduction.
There.
That's incredible. Good for her.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of. I mean, otherwise it's just been streaming stuff. It's been Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy
Final
VII.
Fantasy VII.
You know, it is what it is. And then I guess I'm getting back to FF7 on Wednesday, maybe?
Yeah,
Thursday?
probably.
I don't know.
We might have to start later on Wednesday.
Oh, that's right, because it's going to be your birthday on Wednesday, so we'll probably do Thursday instead.
Now, I would consider FF7 on my birthday a fun birthday present. However, I'm not liable to be back home until like 9 o'clock Eastern, so it'll be a bit late for a stream start.
Right. But other than that, that's kind of it. I don't really have a lot to talk about.
I guess I'll go next. I've been on kind of a tear. I finished from last week. I finished watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
Hell yeah.
That sure is Togashi. I do love him to bits. The man cannot commit to an idea to save his life. It's extraordinarily funny that Yu Yu Hakusho is called Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Detective, and I cannot stress. Maybe at most a quarter of that show's runtime is at all concerned with ghost detectiving.
He's not much of doing a lot of detecting because he already knows who the criminal is because Koenma tells him.
He does like mild detecting in the first like 2-3 arcs of the show, which take 20 episodes, and then it becomes a martial arts shonen, and then it briefly goes, oh fuck, this is a ghost detective thing. I need to go back to the ghost detective thing and do like kind of I need to invent what are they called? Reality marbles. I need to just seed the concept for reality marbles. And then in the middle of that arc, he's like, I'm bored. I want to go back to martial arts.
It is a miracle that the Chimera Ant arc lasted as long as it did and actually ended. Mm-hmm. He's notoriously good at just deciding, you know what, I don't even want to do this story arc and just cutting it off.
Yeah, it is fucking tremendous that it basically goes and becomes its own thing. It's one of those things where, and the reason why I say it's like, it's the thing that made me think about, like, aside from the other stuff I posted, how I am convinced Kinoku Nasu was, when coming up with, like, core ideas for Fate, thinking about cool shit that he liked from Yu Yu Hakusho, is because the whole premise of the Territories arc, which is, again, and I have to stress, because this is a thing that's kind of in Jujutsu Kaisen, that the Jujutsu Kaisen author credits to ripping off from Fate, but is also very clearly the Yu Yu Hakusho version of the same thing, is you're introduced to these guys as psychic powers called Territories, right? Kind of like in the way like people have stands in Stardust Crusaders, because that seems like it's a bit of Togashi doing a JoJo thing. But the thing with the Territories is you create with your mind a space that emanates from you in which reality is dictated by your personal rules.
Oh, okay.
And so like your introduction to this is encountering this nerd, right? This like shitty nerd who's like developing the power or whatever, and like have a thing is like, here's the thing with my territory. There are two aspects of it. First, I'm a nerd and I'm sick of getting bullied. I hate violence. You are not able to physically attack anyone. If you try and do any kind of violence to someone, it stops. The other thing is it has a thing called taboo, and the taboo that's posted at the entrance to his little mansion that he's made is you can never under any circumstances say the word hot. And this is the dub version, right? It's a bit different in the original language, but they had to extensively localize this.
Right? Yeah, of course.
And the idea is like, okay, you just can't say the word hot, or the territory will pry your soul from your body, which is not ideal. But then they find out because it's psychic magic. Someone gets tuck when they say the word each other. Mm-hmm. Because it's Xbox FF14 chat filtering rules.
Oh, that's funny.
And so there's a lot of little things like that where it's like, okay, here's our encounter with this guy. He has this weird thing where whenever we're in his area, he has a specific like control over this facet of reality in a weird way.
Right.
And it's like you can kind of see with the other things, the chain that goes from that to
Reality marbles.
Right. I keep wanting to call them marble phantasms because it's a funny name.
They should be called that.
Well, that's technically kind of what they are. It's a noble phantasm reality marble. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, I think that is kind of neat, just like that. Because you said, obviously Togashi is pulling from, at least a little bit, from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is kind of fun, because it goes like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fate Stay Night, and then Jujutsu Kaisen. That's like a neat little like genealogy of a concept evolving.
Which is funny because you can pull that even farther back to Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah.
Right. Which I love that. I love that lets you create a thing where it's like, no, I can prove a creative genealogy between Dio and Gilgamesh, and not just sounds like it's like, oh, it's two evil blonde guys. Got it.
Yeah.
It's like playing 6 Degrees of Separation with Kevin Bacon, but it's Dio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Eventually, all things are connected to Dio. Actually, that's easy because Takahiro Koyasu just voices fucking everyone. So that's actually a little too easy.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of which, I had the other thing that I've done with my week, which is the other night I had been drinking a bit, perhaps too much, on stream, and I got it in my head that because I just finished 100+ episode Togashi anime, I should immediately begin rewatching another 100+ episode Togashi anime, and so I started rewatching Hunter x Hunter again.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And I bring this up because, as you mentioned, of people voicing everyone, I encountered a wild Ray Chase in there.
Ooh. Wait.
Voicing the 2011, 2014.
Okay.
Because the original does not cover there's not as much stuff to adapt, so it does a relatively limited stretch of story. But just as like a B character in the fucking first arc, I forget.
Little baby Ray Chase.
Yeah, I forget his name escapes me because there's a million characters with weird names in it. It's Hanzo. It's Hanzo.
Oh,
the bald ninja guy with the weird eyebrows.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh wow, a wild Ray Chase, and then also appropriately, Hisoka is voiced by the one and only man with the snake voice, Keith Silverstein, noted current voice actor for Char Aznable.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of prefer the sub more, if only because there's a lot more really weird and wild points at the screen and go, wait, I recognize that voice. Like there is a guy who plays death volleyball. And when you first hear him, you go like, wait a fucking minute. That's the Dragon of Dojima, Kazuma Kiryu.
Oh, it's funny.
He's playing death volleyball.
Now, I'm only watching a dub this time because the first time I watched sub, so I have to give myself an interesting way to experience it.
Exactly.
But the one that I had for that was actually the reverse, where I recognized someone in a different thing from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, okay.
Which is, so you remember the guy from Chimera Ant arc, the interest rate guy? With the big duck bill and everything?
Mm-hmm.
That is the voice actor for Cayman in the Dorohedoro adaptation.
Yes, it is. I recognized him immediately when I heard his voice.
I had the same thing where I heard Cayman, I'm like, yo, they got the fucking duck bill hairdo guy from Hunter x Hunter. That's great.
He's a major minor character in the Water 7 arc in One Piece, if I remember correctly.
How could I insult him by calling him the duck bill hairdo guy? His name is Knuckle.
That's right, his name is Knuckle.
Unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle.
Knuckles.
Yeah, he doesn't chuckle.
Oh, okay.
Knuck, it's Knuckles.
So I've been doing that. I'm excited to eventually, at some point in the next, some amount of weeks, finally reach Chimera Ant arc again, so I can see if it hits just as hard as it did the first time. Because it's hard to recommend a Togashi thing, because they're very long. They kind of meander weirdly, and also have difficulty committing to single ideas. However, Chimera Ant arc is like brain rewriting shonen to me.
Yeah. Do you remember that one time they had a tournament where you had to climb up a skyscraper, like Final Fantasy VII style, and they don't even make it to the top floor? They give up maybe 20 floors in.
Yeah. I do, because and the thing is, you can tell what's happening because it's the second arc, and Togashi's like, oh fuck, tournament arc, and his editor's just grabbing him by his shoulders like, we aren't buckling in for another 3-year-long tournament arc, you hack fraud.
It's really funny because it literally has no plot resolution. They literally just find another thing to do and walk away from it.
It's literally like they get into that tournament arc and they do it so that Gon can have like a real fight with Hisoka. Right? And then after the fight with Hisoka, they just go, man, I don't want to do the rest of the tower. Let's go do something else.
It's so good.
That's so funny. I respect the shit out of that. It's just like, well, this concept sucks now. I'm moving on.
If you move on quick enough, no one will notice.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they have, they do the great thing, which is the thing that they pivot from is doing that tournament arc, is then pivoting to an arc that focuses on, like, the tertiary cast member as he goes on an extremely long, like, Quentin Tarantino-esque revenge murder fantasy against, like, an organized band of super criminals who have wronged him.
Sure! Why not?
It's so good.
One day I'll watch Hunter x Hunter, I promise.
If I were a manga writer, I would definitely just ping pong between multiple ongoing plots. And like just constantly change my mind on which one I want to focus on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think it's weird to get into because I think for the most part Yu Yu Hakusho is just sort of like a worse Hunter x Hunter in general. Because he does a lot of the same ideas, but then he does them better in Hunter x Hunter because he's had time to think about how they didn't work the first time.
Yeah, he refines the concept. You know, it's like how Mamoru Hosoda famously did a Digimon movie and then decided that he was going to
that Digimon movie.
just knock the serial number off of it and then just redo it again, but better.
Was that Summer Wars?
Give it basically the same
Summer
title.
Wars. Yeah, it's Summer Wars. Yeah.
But the reason I mentioned this is because one thing Yu Yu Hakusho does better is that Yu Yu Hakusho is way better about having, like, a relatively short, like, I don't know, less than 10 episodes, like maybe 5 to 8 episodes, of onboarding you into the premise of the show whatsoever.
Sure.
Where, like, you have your character being introduced to this world of wacky mischief and having to figure out, like, how to break into it, how to kind of assert, like, both reclaim his normal life and also get into this new life and have, like, some intro training adventures. Hunter x Hunter just goes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It just sort of starts at, like, 30 miles an hour and just goes, look, you're either going to pick it up or you're not, and that's fine. But also it does this while not having a real fight in it for, like, 6 episodes.
Yeah, it, like...
You know...
Like, imagine if the very first episode, you are introduced to Naruto, and then you see the end of the Zabuza arc before the first commercial break, and then you're in the tuning exam.
I see. Okay, and then you go like a really long time in the tuning exam before you actually get a fight. I understand instantly. Yeah.
That's the pacing.
6 episodes on the written exam portion of the tuning.
Yes, exactly.
Literally, like, the first 5 minutes of the show is... Here's an explanation of what hunters are. And then we go to the little island our main character is born on, and everyone's like, that kid, he's his mom sent him on this impossible quest to catch this giant fuck-off fish so he can prove that he's ready to take the hunter exam like his missing dad did at his age. And then he catches the fish, and he's like, alright, cool, I'm gonna go become a hunter. And his mom is very conflicted about it. And then he gets on the boat to go take the hunter exam, and that happens before the commercial break.
Great! Fantastic!
I need to find out what cigarettes are like, and my dad left me for him.
And it's so great, because it's also, that's the bit where you can feel Togashi, like, I have the specific thing I want to talk about with regards to shonen manga as a genre.
Sure.
And really nailing it in, which is, I have to stress, like, we play it for a joke. It is played completely, like, Gon saying this with just a complete bright-eyed sincerity of a shonen protagonist, and very clearly, every time he says this to someone, they get this look on their face like it is the saddest thing they have heard in their human lifetime, and they do not have any idea how to process it.
Right.
It's the bit in Umineko where it's like, I mean, she's surviving her terrible childhood because she's convinced herself that it's cool. Like, what are you going to do? Remove all the magic from her life so she's miserable?
Yeah.
It's not going to change anything. It's great. I love that show.
Yeah,
It's completely psychotic.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it someday. It's on the list, as they say.
Yeah.
Like I was saying yesterday or the day before, Hunter x Hunter has just an unbelievable number of moments where you have character who is introduced, who has maybe like 6 to 8 chapters, and they have the most harrowing, heart-filled experience in the entire world, and they go, oh, One Piece character.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I will also say, because I think there's some overlap there in that they're both like 28 years old or whatever. I do think that if Final Fantasy XIV had stuck with its American-centric English dubbing, we would have gotten Keith Silverstein doing Xenos in the exact way he plays Hisoka.
Oh my god, you're right.
I gotta start watching this dub now.
Oh,
because the thing
is,
he's just like a menacing older gay man, or it's like he's a menacing older man. You're like, he's rival-y, but he's got this kind of thing going on. Is it gay coded? And then you realize, oh, he's a pedophile.
Right? Yeah.
He's my favorite character.
And he's the most threatening rival to the 12-year-old boy protagonist.
That's
just
hilarious.
like in Drakengard 1, unfortunately. My favorite character is the worst one.
How many?
Yeah, he's an extremely good, just like psychotic rival character in a manga.
Sure, absolutely.
Is this the third pedophile in running for best character of their respective show?
Maybe.
No, here's the thing. I don't think Hisoka is the problem is the competition for best character in Hunter x Hunter is really stiff.
Yeah.
Like, Hisoka's extremely good. Hisoka would, like, be a podium placer for me in any world. But, like, I would have to get into the nitty-gritty of arcs. Like, he's gonna be in competition with my little man at Colgo. He's gonna be in contention with Gon's dad.
World's worst father.
The worst man ever. Even I know that.
What if Retica was a deadbeat dad?
No, you can't say that about my girl.
For real though, what if Retica was a deadbeat dad?
That's so funny.
Like,
well, someday.
Literally left her children for cigarettes.
Sure, absolutely. Sure, maybe someday.
Maybe that's what Dontrell's about.
Maybe that's what Dontrell's about.
That's why she's on the island.
That's why she's like that, yeah.
I need to go on vacation now. Goodbye, children I had with Xenos.
I love every time, like, runner-up for worst dad ever. It's like the list is, like, between Goku and Gon's dad. It's like, it's no contest. It's Gon's dad.
I also have to stress the other good part of Gon's dad is that literally everybody hates his guts.
Right.
Like, there's no, like, oh man, Gon's dad, like, he's kind of a weirdo, but he's so cool. No, literally everyone thinks he's a fucking deadbeat, horrible piece of shit. And he's just like, what? It's a living.
That's awesome.
It's so good. I love that show.
In a perfect world, he would have the same voice actor as Rat Trap.
Hey, it's me, Gon's dad.
I see.
Also, I'll have to. Oh, you know what I can find for the thumbnail? Assuming we don't have anything else, is I have to find that bit where it's the edit from like a later arc where the dog girl is asking Pariston. Yeah. He's like, Pariston, are you homophobic? And he just goes, I am gay. And she just goes, he's avoiding the question. That's the kind of show Hunter x Hunter is. It's my favorite. Yeah. It's really good.
Okay. Oh, God.
Anyway, that's my week. I've watched a lot of anime and haven't done anything else of interest.
So I wanted to follow up one quick thing we talked about last week when we talked about Yu Yu Hakusho, which is I mentioned the episode where like the three leaders underneath the Toguro brothers and how one of them gets taken out before the first commercial break. I finished that episode. The other two get killed by the end of that single episode.
Great.
Like he literally sets up like you have to fight these three badasses thing, and then immediately just realizes I don't want to do that.
I don't want to
write
this.
That sounds lame. I don't want to.
So Yusuke and Kuwabara just stomp them into the dirt immediately, and they're like, "Hey, we won." And because the whole premise is that like it's like a mob leader, like they're infiltrating like a mob leader's thing, so he's setting up bets with the other like mafia guys, and so he's like, and he's voiced by Brian Massey.
Oh, good.
So it's just Lad Russo.
It's just Lad Russo, yeah, because Brian Massey only
God,
has
that was
one
Brian
voice.
Massey.
Yeah, you couldn't tell?
No wonder I loved him. His voice is his performance is tremendous.
He's just like, hey, I'm I bet my henchmen can beat up these high schoolers. So we'll take a wager. And they're like, I bet 500 trillion on the intruders.
They did the very funny anime dub thing of clearly in the original it was supposed to be a yen value, but when they localized it to dollars, they just said the same number.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
they did not change the yen at all.
Yeah.
No, so these crime guys just have a fucking frankly there's the big dude there has more money than the entire country of Japan.
Yeah, like they even, I don't know if it's a dubism or not, but one of the guys in the shadows even mentions like, that's more money than the entire net worth of the country of Japan. And the other one is like, yeah, but if this guy sells literally every single asset he has, he might be able to break even. Good, fucking great show. I love Yu Yu Hakusho.
It is, I think, one of the things of Togashi is that his particular ism as a writer, zero sense of scale.
Yes.
Period.
Right.
You will get that really early in Hunter x Hunter whenever you get to it. It's like millions of Hunter applicants every year. And this shit they have to go to? No, there's not.
No, there's not. No,
the lost light
is
is 10 miles by 15 miles.
No, it's not. You somehow filter out millions of applicants a year down to 400 people in the thing. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Togashi said a number that sounded good and didn't think about it because he never thinks about it.
We just ran 25 miles in a subway tunnel for 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Which one is that one from?
It's the first part of the Hunter exam.
My favorite two no sense of scales ever are the lost light is 15 miles by 10 miles.
Correct.
The other one is the 40% unemployment rate from Detroit Become Human.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
40% unemployment rate, but people can still afford to buy androids.
Yeah, 40% unemployment rate, and the entire country is not actively being burned to the ground.
Yeah,
I believe 40% unemployment is literally worse than the Great Depression.
It's twice as much.
It's twice as bad. Yes,
40%. People would be knifing each other for stale bread.
Yeah,
40% unemployment.
Right, no, it's so bad. No, it's literally never been that bad before. Yeah, it's hilarious.
But yeah, my week has been also, again, because we've just been streaming a lot. Mm-hmm. But I did squeeze in a couple other things. Like I mentioned, we're still going through 13 Sentinels. Mm-hmm. She is bouncing around characters like a lot.
Sure.
And it's very funny because I'm very clearly seeing who her biases are.
Oh yeah.
She hates Gota.
Oh.
The tall guy with the glasses.
Yeah, no, I know Gota, yeah.
And she also doesn't like Ryoko very much.
What?
Because she hasn't gotten a chance to play as her a lot. So
right.
In the other things, Ryoko is kind of a bitch in like the other storylines.
Sure.
I love Ryoko. Ryoko's plotline's so fucking good though. I'm excited to see all of it. It's just
she also thinks that Juro is a whiny little bitch too.
Well,
because he is.
I mean,
yeah.
She's like,
on the money there.
You are so mean to Megumi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she does think that Nenji is the best because, of course,
yeah,
he
of
is.
course. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's fun. I'm really enjoying watching her go through that and like trying to piece things together. I picked Midnight Suns back up because I was like, I never beat that. I should probably like work on that. And I killed Dracula.
Oh, good for you.
That was fun.
Love to do that.
I think more things should take advantage of the fact that Dracula is in the public domain and just make Dracula a character in their thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you should just include a Dracula.
This is what I'm always saying about, like, well, God rest him, I need Dragon Ball to become the public domain so that people can just put Vegeta in things.
Yeah.
I agree.
I there's nothing you can't put Dracula in.
I'm realizing suddenly. I think this is the funniest possible configuration of public domain creatures as it exists currently. We now live in a universe where Sherlock Holmes can conduct a mystery on the murders of Mickey Mouse and Popeye, only to discover that it's Dracula.
That's correct.
Yes. We are allowed to do that.
You can get away with that now. It's great.
The other thing is I continued my strategy game kick, I guess, because I started Unicorn Overlord.
Oh, nice! How do you like it so far?
I love it.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, it's really good.
Damn. All right.
It's I'm sorry. I'm going to pressure you into playing Unicorn Overlord.
Damn, it's gonna happen. Yeah, all right.
It's on the Switch. You can play it.
I can play it. I have a Switch. I can play it. Yes. I will.
So it's very much it's doing a lot of things differently from Fire Emblem, but it is a game for fans of Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Because a lot of the classes in Unicorn Overlord correlate to how they work in Fire Emblem. Spearmen are have a slight advantage over. It's a different mechanical advantage, but they have an advantage over swordsmen.
Right.
And archers are really good against aerial units, Pegasus riders and whatnot. But it also the way battles play out is completely different because it's not turn-based, grid-based. It's real time. You send a unit out and it walks a path in real time towards its target. And you can also group up units into a squad. So you have a squad of 2 or 3 units, and their advantages play off of each other.
Okay.
Right. So if you put a heavy dude and a mage, you have a 6 square 2x3 grid to place your units on.
Yeah.
So if you have a shield unit in the front line and a mage in the back, the shield unit will take all of the hits because the mage unit is really squishy, right?
Okay.
So you want to set up your so their advantages play off of each other. Archers in the back, mages, healers in the back, heavy units in the front, but you can set whoever you want as your leader. So if you have a heavy slow moving guy as your in the front lines, you can still set the mage as your leader so they'll move faster.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
If you have a unit with a thief and whatnot, you can still set your Pegasus rider to the leader so they can fly over everything. So it works out really well that way.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of really cool mechanics going on, and the way they do turn order in battle is super interesting because the Fire Emblem's you hit once, they hit once, and then round over, right?
Right.
In this, everyone has an active skill and a passive skill. And depending on how many people you have in your party, turns can go back and forth between you and the enemy squad for a while. Usually the active is an attack of some kind, and you can set gambits FF12 gambits.
Oh, okay.
So it's hey, spearmen have a long range attack so they can pierce 2 rows back, right? So you can hit someone in the front line and the back line. So it's focus on if there is a grouping of someone right directly behind someone, target them first.
Sega's rival counterpart to the Fire Emblem series, the Shining series, started doing that I think during the Saturn or the Dreamcast days. So that's exciting. I might play that.
Yeah. It's really cool because you can also be okay, well, your main character, the main Fire Emblem Lord Elaine, has a skill where he will heal if he KOs an enemy. So you could be use this attack on the enemy with the lowest HP, so you have a higher chance of actually getting that kill instead of targeting whoever's in the front line.
Right.
So there's really cool strategy and planning out like who you want to target with what abilities and whatnot. You've got your Fire Emblem style like bonding, like characters can have little skits if they work together long enough. It's really, really good so far. Like, I can't say enough good things about it.
Hell yeah.
It seems like it's going to last a long time too. Like there's like a lot of
it's an RTS. Yeah,
there's a lot of plot going on and like a lot of maps and stuff you can go to. Yeah, it's like super well done. It's got that Vanillaware.
It's Vanillaware, so you've got to
I will have to weather my discontentment and buy it on the Switch and just grumble about it, but then play it on the Switch anyway. But that's okay.
Does it run okay on the Switch?
I'm playing it on PS5, so I don't know.
I've heard it runs fine on the Switch.
Yeah,
okay,
it is. I mean, it is an RTS. Like it's also a Vanillaware RTS. So like,
sure,
it's probably not very intensive.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's got that gorgeous art style though. That good animation, good sprite quality.
Yeah, like that good ass Vanillaware animation and art. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if the Switch version.
Owl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the Switch version comes with it. But the PS5 version came with a DLC code where you can design the royal family like emblem.
Mm-hmm.
And the DLC you get with that comes with a 13 Sentinel set.
So, cute!
So
That's
Elaine's shield has a BJ and Fluffy as like the vanguards in front of the crest.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
The other thing that's really interesting that I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this is that I did like a side quest where you have to rescue a priestess from who is being held hostage in a church. And the person who gives you that quest is an angel. Like an actual holy angel from the heavens. The servant of God, the Father.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, hey, what's up, angel? Yeah, you know.
Oh.
Oh, hey. You want our help? Okay, cool. Let's go work together and get this priestess back. All right, well, cool. See you later.
Okay.
Like, okay, all right.
Sure. Just roll with it. Why not? Might as well.
It's this kind of world. Okay.
Sure, we're just gonna roll with it. It's fine. It's that kind of fantasy setting.
It is weird though because like they keep mentioning it's fantasy, fantasy style world, but like their god is just like God the Father, like capital
Christian
H
God?
his.
Oh sure, but I mean it's not like Abrahamic.
They're not.
Christian
They're
God.
not. They're not Christians, but it's just funny to use like explicit Christian terminology.
Sure.
There's not a whole lot of fantasy stuff that really goes for the monotheism angle.
Right.
Like usually nowadays it's like a goddess,
Right.
Or it's given
goddesses.
It's given a name that you can like use in place of just God the Father.
Right.
Or again, still very often you just have like the weird D&D style pantheons that have like zero relation to how actual religions work at all, but it's cool.
But yeah, no, I definitely like highly recommend like feel my spiritual pressure to play Unicorn Overlord.
I will. It's on the list. It's gonna get played eventually.
My spiritual awareness is activated. I must have stepped into Ben's territory that compels me to spend $60 on Unicorn Overlord, lest my legs explode off my body in 15 minutes.
Right.
I'm exerting my conqueror's hockey to force you to play Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's about it. That's about all I did.
Okay.
Besides
right.
FF7 streaming. Hey, check us twitch.tv/thegorgepodcast. We're playing Final Fantasy VII Classic, and we're also trying to mop up everything that's left in Rebirth that we didn't cover.
We finished the Queen's Blood quests. Our brains are so big, the writers confirmed our suspicions.
Our brains are huge. We're geniuses.
It's just so hard walking around with this fat brain meat all the time,
I know.
and then like using it to commit psychic violence upon the earth.
I'm sorry, I'm just immediately thinking about that Nomura tweet from like a week and a half ago where he's just like, well, we're going to talk a bit more about Wu-Tai for the next installment. I'm sure some of you have figured out who Saruf is.
Yeah. Are you unless you're stupid, right?
Yeah, he basically just said like, yeah, but if you played the game, you can probably figure out who Saruf is.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about the Queen's Blood thing.
Yeah.
They had to say it to confirm it for us specifically.
That's right.
There's like, this gaggle of fucking nobodies just said it out loud while streaming.
The code.
And so we have to confirm it. World first goes to the Gorge Podcast.
That's right.
And so after that, we have moved on to trying to do the Proto-Relic quest so we can hang out with our buddy Greg. And last time we were forced to do a whole bunch of Fort Condor.
Yeah, that's really bad.
A mini game that I hate. I hated it as much as I love Queen's Blood.
And for some reason, they put Fort Condor in this game, and your assigned party is Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa, and Yuffie's not involved, even though she is a Fort Condor Grandmaster, and she would log out super hard about being in Fort Condor. And I feel let down.
The thing is, what we can determine from this is that Cloud is a Yu-Gi-Oh boy, and Yuffie is a Pokemon girl.
That's correct.
I do hope that if you go back and play those Fort Condor things again, they will let you put Yuffie in there.
Yeah, she can be like your like hero class thing.
She's a super unit because she just understands the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually knows how to play the game instead, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She has munchkined herself into having, like, the ultimate protagonist class, you know?
See, Yuffie wants all those materia so that she can sell them to buy Warhammer models.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
She absolutely would have, like, an extremely meta-Tyranid setup.
Yeah. Alright, get to news.
Transformers 1 turned Cybertron's greatest warriors into bumbling youths in its first trailer.
I liked Hemsworth's how to put this, prototypical attempt at being a young Peter Cullen. It was really cute.
I liked everything about this trailer except for the words and actions being performed in the trailer.
Yeah.
It
is. You ever see that one, like, old CO post that, like beat by beat sums up what every single children's animated film trailer is? Yeah. Right?
The Mario movie one with Kesha's TikTok as, like, the overarching theme of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is literally that, like, beat for beat, and I was like, just like, oh, okay.
This trailer, I said it on Twitter, this trailer feels like a 4chan shitpost about what the Transformers 1 trailer would be like.
I can't be too mean about it because I've literally been feeling this particular kind of fatigue for every time there is a first trailer that is animated for children babies.
Sure.
Like, because even Wreck-It Ralph had a really stinker for its first one.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm just admiring the visuals because they're really pretty.
Yeah, the movie looks gorgeous, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, now, this is a bad trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if the movie is going to be good or bad, but this trailer was bad.
Right.
Like I said, Hemsworth sounds amazing for a Peter Cullen impression. I will happily listen to him say words again.
These designs look great.
Yeah.
The animation and the fight scenes are incredible. Like, that's going to be great. I just need the dialogue to be a little better next time.
Maybe they just cut it, like, the worst, like, using the worst trailer dialogue possible.
I think that is genuinely what they're doing. Because every time they do it, they very clearly cut the action sequence to a Bumblebee sequence really abruptly. So it's really obvious that they're literally like, these are the 3 trailer shots that we use, and they're all Bumblebee-centric.
Right.
So we have to cut back to him.
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna get all these toys.
Right.
Because like
they are going to sell all of them to you.
That Orion looks incredible.
Yeah.
So, but like, man, they had a scene where Bumblebee calls himself Badassatron. I'm like, is that your
like,
joke?
Man,
you're
shut
gonna
up,
do?
God! Who's writing this shit? Actually, who is writing this movie?
Okay, but hear me out. You would think it was cool if it was Rodimus.
That's correct.
Yeah, because that's Rodimus' character.
It's Rodimus. That's his character. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is.
Look, here's my contribution to this conversation. I did not watch the trailer. I have literally zero interest. Let me know when they make More Than Meets the Eye / Last Light animated movie, and I'll be on board day one.
They pitched it, Saturn.
I'm aware.
Just to ruin my life. They pitched it, and it
hurts me.
It hurts me.
Unfortunately, this might be the closest we get because they are deliberately using the Aligned / IDW backstory for Megatron, which is to say he is a miner who doesn't even have a name. He has a designation and a number and a brand on him.
We have to take the IDW scraps we can get from Earthspark in this movie.
Yeah.
Also, the very quick shot we see of actual Megatron-ass Megatron for like the split second, he does have the IDW, both the cute little chin strap goatee he has, and the specific shape of that version of his bucket head.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he looks like in like full. I'm twiddling my fingers and steepling them like a little gremlin.
Man, they scored the trailer to fucking start me up. Like, come on, like. Stop doing stuff.
It's literally like a parody. Yes.
I know.
Starscream was in it for like
a single
second. I was so happy.
I saw Soundwave too. I'm like, yeah, the Decepticon trio of Starscream, Shockwave, and Soundwave look great.
Yeah,
it's just the Homer Simpson gag of him just knocking the sheep out of the way to reveal the other sheep. Yeah. That's me about Soundwave and Shockwave. Who cares about his giant tits?
We saw a Viacon from Prime.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So like,
who cares? You guys see Starscream.
We have to see Starscream.
So yeah, I mean, maybe the second trailer will look better, but I was not impressed with the first trailer's like dialogue.
No, or vibes.
Yeah,
the vibes are all wrong. So
next, BlizzCon skipping 2024 could be fine, could be a bad omen.
I'm thinking they're likely to be skipping every future BlizzCon forever. There's never going to be another BlizzCon.
It's so funny to me that they got bought by Microsoft finally and immediately just stopped putting shit out.
Yeah.
It's like Microsoft has a reality marble or like a territory, and the territory rule is you can't make video games inside of it. Right?
Now, I can't credit this completely to Microsoft because I think this is just the merger effect, right? Because the same thing happened to Bungie when Sony bought them for like $3 or $4 billion or whatever, because they were, making Destiny 2, which was at the time the big ongoing success in live service games and like a fucking, a underdog story basically.
Sure.
And then basically as soon as that check cleared, just started violently shitting itself.
Right, yeah.
And so at least part of it's that effect, but it is also extremely funny, if not because of that, but because the Microsoft acquisition cost, about 20 times more than the Bungie one did. And every component of that business they bought has just collapsed.
Totally collapsed. They're just not putting things out. It's just like, BlizzCon 2024 isn't happening because Blizzard doesn't have anything to show for it. And it's very funny that it happened immediately after the Microsoft acquisition, right?
BlizzCon isn't happening. I think the official Overwatch 2 competitive circuit is dead.
Yeah.
Diablo 4 has been floundering.
Uh-huh.
There was another one that was on my mind.
Not
for Blizzard, but for Activision. Activision put out the worst Call of Duty game they've literally ever released.
Yes, everybody
instantly.
hated this year's Call of Duty, like with a passion. It's just hilarious. It's like Microsoft is like, we have to buy Activision so we can compete. And then nothing happened. No video games actually come out. So, that's cool. That's funny.
But
I like that Microsoft is like projects an aura of incompetence.
Look. It may have cost Microsoft a ton of money and many years to get this deal through, but at least a lot of people lost their jobs over it.
And then also no video games are coming out.
I think sincerely, for $80 billion, Joe Schmo with $80 billion could make a competitive fourth console.
I agree.
Yeah.
You could get Sega back on the console market with $80 billion.
You could.
Oh my god.
With $80 billion, Sega would just make a Dreamcast 2.
That's what they would call it.
That's
too.
what they would call it. Absolutely.
They would call it Dreamcast the re-risen.
Yeah, exactly. They would just make another Dreamcast, but like a new one, and it would probably outsell an Xbox at this point.
Like any given, and like if you or if we didn't do Dreamcast thing, like if you gave Steam $80 billion instead make a console, if you gave Apple $80 billion instead make a console, literally anyone could spend that $80 billion and actually have a real market shakeup more effectively than Microsoft did, which is spend $80 billion acquiring a company that immediately shits itself and stops making anything.
That's right. To the point that like they're just not producing anything. It rules.
You could give Tommy Tallarico $80 billion and he'd... Oh, wait, no, never mind. He wouldn't do that much.
No, he'd buy back his MTV Cribs house. That wasn't on MTV Cribs.
No, I just think it's extremely funny that, like, Microsoft basically just threw a whole bunch of money in the hole for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Very funny.
Yeah. It is a company of unforced errors, to be sure.
A comedy of errors, truly.
A sad trombone of errors.
That's right.
Next, Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama gives posthumous praise for Sandland game.
Sandland looks great.
It looks great. I'm very excited to play Sandland at some point.
Yeah.
I realize it's that he wrote the message, like, ahead of time, right? Mm-hmm. But I am obsessed with the mental image of, like, yeah, we pulled that fresh body out of the grave to compel him into saying something nice about Sandland.
Well, no, Akira Toriyama put his hand on King Kai's shoulder, and he sent a message to the developers of Sandland.
That Sandland is good, actually.
I am still dismayed that they couldn't have waited like another 4 or 5 years to develop this game so that it would come out on the PlayStation 6 just as the original manga intended for it to come out.
Along with Dragon Quest 15.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Dragon Quest 15 is going to happen in time for the PS6, but I think we are getting like an obligatory re-release of this game on PS6, like the day it comes out.
Sony should, when the time comes, make the PS6 look like the one from Sandland.
That'd be really cute.
I have to Google this now.
Because from what we see,
funny.
Saturn,
we need to stress it is the most late 90s, early 2000s idea of super console that you can think of. Real game sphere.
I see. It is literally the Game Sphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It looks like one of those. The things from that board game thing where like you slap the dome and it rolls the dice. It looks like if you glued that to the top of a PlayStation 1.
And that's what they should make it look like.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Dragon Quest 13. They can get to 13 for the PS6.
Yeah, they can get to 13 and 6 in time.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, Sandland looks really, really good. I'm excited to play that one. Next, Fallout, but in Excel, lets you visit the wasteland while your boss thinks you're working.
What?
Someone...
Is this the original Fallout 1?
Someone made a turn-based RPG that is inspired by Fallout. It's not actually Fallout licensed, but like it's a post-apocalyptic game that is built in Excel.
That's funny. That's cute.
Let me show you what that looks like.
This isn't the only time I've heard of this happening, but no one ever does it because you're obviously your options are very limited. But like I know people, someone has made a playable quote-unquote Doom in Excel.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, that's not the. That's just linked to the article. Let me show you the exact.
Oh, I see it. Okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
I like this.
That's cute.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool little thing.
Yeah, I'd give that a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Fitting since we talked about it, but Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact first detail screenshots and character trailers.
Oh, good. I haven't seen any of these.
I'm extremely impressed they got as many characters as they did, which is still like less than any other roster in any video game ever. I think it's like 9 or 10 characters.
It is a Marvel-like 3v3.
10-character Marvel-like? What the fuck are you doing?
It's a 3v3 with like less than 12 characters.
That's
that dog don't hunt.
that's
So stupid. That's amazing.
That's too many to have on. That means if you play one round, you've completed 90% of the roster.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know much about Hunter x Hunter, but I didn't think it had like the robust cast to build like a 30+ fighter.
Ben, you could. Here's the thing, though. With all the fucking insane bit characters in Hunter x Hunter, you could make like a Budokai Tenkaichi with Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
You absolutely could.
It would be easier to do it that way too, because all you would have to do is build everybody like a quick and easy, super gritty combo, and then like 4 specials, and that's it.
You just do it according to their Nen type or whatever the fuck.
When I said it was a Marvel, just take a look at this quick gameplay trailer here for
absolutely,
because when I said it's a Marvel-like, I mean that it just looks like they replaced character models from MVC3.
Oh, let me see.
Like right down to like the battle intros of the 3v3, the 3 against 3, and the way the camera pivots between the two of them. Just looks like it's from fucking Marvel 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. It literally is just kind of a Marvel. Yeah, when's Marvel?
I just saw a post recently I was thinking about a lot, which is like, the sad part about modern fighting games is that there's no games anymore that you would skip having sex with 2 women at the same time to play, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm excited to see, honestly, if they're smart, the other unrevealed half of this cast will just all be Chimera Ant characters.
I'm hoping there's more than just this bunch.
They kind of have to, because
the website still only has 6 confirmed, and it's like all like first art characters. So,
mm-hmm. it would be real. It would be wasteful to not include Meruem.
You need Meruem
or Shiapoo.
Yeah, I was saying you need Neferpitou too.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's 3 already from that one arc, and that's just like the main bad guys. You don't even get anyone cool from the good guys side in that configuration.
Yeah, the thing is that like, again, you can make a Budokai Tenkaichi because there's a good 40 to 50 characters you could pull from. And the fact that the roster's this small is just insanely funny. You can tell that they're holding back for DLC in the most like cash grabby way possible.
It occurs to me. It would be like it would like devastate the gaming economy and get everyone really excited about Hunter x Hunter.
What?
A Hunter x Hunter Xenoverse.
Yeah.
Where you make your own. Yeah, where you make your own hunter, because it also has a thing where it's like, there's a very limited number of archetypes that you could coalesce a character around and just, like, have your movesets in the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that would, you could do fucking anything with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are very few animes that you can make a Xenoverse out of. I think Hunter x Hunter would be one of them, but, like, the only ones I can think of would be, like, One Piece and Naruto.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I think you could do it for One Piece, but like I'm thinking on it really quickly, and I don't think you actually could, just because Devil Fruits would make that way too fucking complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true, because like the whole point of Xenoverse is that you can just learn all the moves that all the characters do. You can't really do that with Devil Fruits.
With Naruto, you can learn ninjutsu and go to classes. With Hunter x Hunter, you can learn your single nen and like join the hunters and go up in rank.
And you could
with
fabricate.
With One Piece you become a pirate. That's it.
And like for Hunter x Hunter, like you can fabricate some bullshit excuse to get moves that from aren't your Nen type into your Nen type or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's your because you just do the Street Fighter 6 thing, right? Where it's like, no, the player character's thing is that they're the weirdo who's just like for some reason can internalize all these various different styles like it's nothing.
Like anyone can learn how to stretch their limbs like Dalsim if you just work at it hard enough.
And what's the funny thing is that's like, well, no, not everyone can, or it's like if you can, you basically have to live your life as a Dalsim. But it's like, no, your player character is just like genuine, like like a Fate Grand Order Okada Izo, right? Where it's just like, I just learn your shit the instant you do it.
A genetic freak, a true devil.
Appropriately, you just have the Leorio thing of you can copy a power as long as you're hit by it once.
Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't kill you, you can use it.
There you go. Perfect. But yeah, I mean, visually the game does not look very impressive. It looks very cheaply made. But people who have gotten their hands on it have said it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard people say this is going to be the genuine new Marvel vs. Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
Because MVCI is like bad.
Trash. Yeah, it's trash.
Yeah. Everyone I've heard who's gotten a chance to play this says that it is the logical successor.
MVCI will always infuriate me
for having the uneven roster.
Yes, I'm so mad about that. Every time I see the full roster of MVCI, I just get so fucking pissed off that the red is eating into the blue. Like you couldn't put out one extra cap. You couldn't put Leon Kennedy.
Right.
You couldn't scrape that together.
Anybody else? Yeah.
You're gonna have Bucky be the extra Marvel character.
It does make me sad that they wasted putting the Monster Hunter in MVCI because they should have put the Monster Hunter in Smash.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, but
disgusting missed opportunity.
You can also play the Monster Hunter in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because the modders have been doing amazing things to that game.
Well, that's good.
Like they've been building characters from scratch to put in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. Like they've put fucking Cyclops back into Marvel.
That's so
just
funny.
From the ground up.
Just from the ground up, just put him in. Why not?
Like he punched out of the punch dimension.
Yeah, balanced him for everything, built his moveset back up. They've done that for Gambit. They've put you can just find all kinds of crazy shit they've done from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Maybe they'll do the same thing for Hunter x Hunter. Maybe that's how they'll add characters. They'll just like, hey, here's 40 empty slots. Modders go crazy.
God, I wish.
I can't get over the fact that Leorio looks like Phoenix Wright, by the way. I'm just looking at these character designs.
My favorite part, Ben, is that was the doctor guy we were talking about last week.
Yeah, that's the Claire of that party.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. His entire,
also, I need you to understand
deal.
The thing that I've picked up, and it's that I've realized, thankfully, isn't just like Fujoshi goggles that I have on constantly. Is how hard, like, in the first episode, it's like, no, this is Leorio, this is Kurapika, the little blonde boy wearing the kurta. They hate each other. They're going to make out sloppy style.
Yeah, no, extremely.
Good for
them. They're also my favorite. I think they're the two oldest in the group by a really wide margin. I think Gon is like 13 and Killua is like 16, and the other two are like 19 and 20.
No, so Gon and Killua both start the series at 12.
Okay.
And then I think Kurapika's 15 and Leorio's 17.
That's right.
There's a gag in like there's very early on where they're doing that they're doing the underground marathon that's like literally 120 kilometers, by the way. This underground subway tunnel marathon, great sense of scale, Tagashi. And he has this line exclaiming like, "Don't you know I'm a teen like you guys too?" And everyone's just like, "What?"
Yeah, because like
you're like 6 foot tall and dressed like an adult.
Leorio's 16. He looks like he's 35.
Yeah,
no, he's lived a hard life, man.
He is a hard-smoking, hard-drinking gambler who wants to become a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
The only way I can describe the him and Kurapika chemistry is that it's two people who have made very different characters for the D&D game, but they both make characters that are each other's types, so they're like already flirting on session 1, even though their characters would like hate each other's guts.
Yeah, it's
Despite
great.
everything.
It's so good.
Next, a Kingdom Hearts movie is rumored to be in development at Disney.
Oh, I'm sorry you heard the news, Ben.
Sorry
It's
for
that
your
time
loss.
of year again. Time for the rumor to come out.
The rumor come out, does Sora is gay?
Does Sora is movie?
Does Sora is movie character now? Yeah. I don't know. This one might have a little bit more substance behind it than usual, considering video game adaptations are the new hotness.
Yeah.
So,
So-
you know.
It depends whether it's a theatrical or a streaming thing. So I
The
think
thing
if
is-
it's theatrical, there's a chance.
The
If it's
thing-
streaming, it's not.
The thing is, there's more ways for this to go poorly than there is for it to go right.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But there are ways for it to go right.
Sure, but it's
And
not going to
that's-
be any of those.
And that's if you just let Tetsuya Nomura direct Advent Children 2.
Ben, you already know.
You
you already
already
know
know
it's
it's
not happening.
That's not going to be it at all!
Here's my concern with Kingdom Hearts, and like again, like I tend to be like ambivalent about Nomura in general. I like the approach to just going, no, it doesn't have to all make sense. You can kind of coast on vibes because I respect it.
Yeah,
But there's a
absolutely,
part
I
where it's
respect
like,
that.
I can trust Nomura to be given basically any story and then adapt it into a Nomura story and it like still be cool and just obviously a Nomura thing.
Mhm.
I do not trust anyone who isn't Nomura to do any kind of adaptation of a
That
Nomura
is
story.
correct.
That's true. That's 100%
Absolutely.
true. That's it.
Without love, it cannot be seen. And unless you have Nomura's exact specific kind of loosey-goosey brainworms, you are going to fuck his shit up royally.
Like I'm
Yeah.
reading this article, and again, this article comes up once every 2 years or so. That the movie's happening now, or the TV series is happening now.
Oh, it got greenlit.
But this one's getting around to like official news circuits, so it's like, and I mean, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
well,
Again, like
but-
if it's theatrical, I think it has a good chance of existing.
Because it's like,
Yeah.
well, what do? Do you just adapt the first game? Like, do you?
You just adapt the
Like,
first game.
yeah.
That's it. You just adapt the first game.
You adapt the first game, and I think even then, you're pretty loose with it.
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
crunch a lot of things.
Yeah.
With it.
You have to turn it into kind of like yet another boring multiverse story for it to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
kind
you
of
really
thing.
do. I think they're gonna make this boring, right? Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
about some real world kid getting isekai into a bunch of old Disney cartoons.
Do you
Right.
know what a multiverse is?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I love watching Marvel movies.
Yay! Now
Winks
the thing
at
is,
the camera.
the sad or good thing is that this could be the first time we actually see classic Disney characters in a theater for the first time since
a
a
while.
Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Well,
For the first
technically-
time in like a span of time in which you could have watched the Goofy movie, conceived a child after watching the Goofy movie, and then that child now be an adult, and there have never been a new Disney cartoon movie in their human lifetime.
Right.
Which is why I don't think this will actually be a theatrical release, because I think the Disney Corporation would dissolve
It's so
if
dumb.
Mickey Mouse were allowed to be on a theater screen.
So here's what I think. And this is how you can have the best of both worlds with maybe it'll be an okay theater adaptation despite whatever the fuck Disney's going to do to it to make it illegible, but also have the Nomura seal of approval. Which is you just do, it's called Kingdom Hearts, completely bespoke continuity and series of events with seemingly no actual
Yeah.
like direct plot
Yeah,
connection.
absolutely.
It's just that we did our own version of Kingdom Hearts that's like different.
I think
Right.
that the best way to make this actually something worthwhile is you either do that or it's just a bespoke thing called Kingdom Hearts, or you just do a foreteller story. You do a Union Cross story, and it's just separate from the main continuity.
I'm having a really stupid brain blast. Are you ready for this?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. What Ben just described, which is a mostly bespoke version of Kingdom Hearts. It's a rewrite of the general gist of the plot, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't use any of the Final Fantasy game characters. It's all characters from Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, and it's a completely different set of movies.
Yeah,
But
now here's the thing. I respect your vision. High off your gourd if you think they're wasting CG budget on putting a Final Fantasy character in this movie.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Not even a Spirits Within character.
I think it would be just the worst, and I would actually watch it.
Now,
Peak 4 out of 10.
I have a proposal, and this is going to be out there, and I think maybe the world isn't ready for it, but I think it would work.
Okay.
Can we get Kingdom Hearts Samurai Remnant?
Absolutely not. We are more likely to get Kingdom Hearts crossing over with the Yakuza.
No. I don't mean a crossover.
You mean an alternate universe type beat?
No, I mean like we're playing the hits. This is a remix. This is a remix album. It's its own standalone story. It has some spurious Union Cross style connection to something that you won't notice unless you care, and it doesn't matter if you don't. But it is just like it is just a completely new cast, completely new story, but it's still just doing the shit that it did in Kingdom Hearts 1, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then, maybe you said it in Edo Japan, if you're a psychopath.
If you're a complete lunatic.
Yeah.
Look, there's no world in which I'm going to see the Kingdom Hearts movie in theaters. If you made it, it's Kingdom Hearts, but it's a Samurai Remnant style, completely bespoke spin-off that's inexplicably set in Tokugawa era Japan, I'll go there. I'll go. I'll buy two tickets.
Saturn, you sound...
You said that you have no chance of seeing the Kingdom Hearts movie. Saturn, there's an 85% chance I won't see the Kingdom Hearts movie.
No, man, there's a 100% chance you will, because either it will be good and you'll watch it, or it will be bad and it will be content.
That's correct.
Saturn, the problem is that for a brief moment, I understood what you were trying to say, but your voice wasn't coming out of your mic, it was Shia's.
Look,
really confused for a minute there.
In this respect, Shia and I have a sort of a political agreement.
That's correct.
Which is to say, what's cool? Japanese history and fantasy. I really like it. I think there should be more of it. I think we live in anime poisoned enough era that you can put a Japanese historical fantasy movie on a Hollywood screen and people wouldn't question it.
I think I'm just thinking now. God, I'm just thinking about Kingdom Hearts adapted for the Edo era for one thing. Actually, that would be really cool. Like Sora in like a samurai outfit would be.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
you just have like a normal katana, but like the blade's notched in a way that like a key would be notched.
But I'm also thinking about Saturn said about watching the movie for content and the scenario in which it's like, man, Ben's been really quiet for most of this recording, and then like we finish recording, and then I message you privately like, hey guys, I'm gonna be offline for like a week or so.
Ben's just silent for 80% of recording, and then at near the end of the movie, like this movie's version of Kyrie has like a Joss Whedon line, and Ben just starts screaming, "You wouldn't fucking say that!"
Just having a meltdown.
Ben's been really quiet, and it's because I've left my chair and I'm like standing outside in the rain.
You left your chair getting ready to go do end of Fight Club shit to Disney corporate headquarters.
Oh god! Oh no, it's so bad.
It's like, I'm gonna go to bed for.
I gotta go to bed now. All right.
Our post recording like shoot the shit chit chat is just me. I'm just that fucking picture of Pim from Smiling Friends.
Yeah.
we're all sitting there like a couple days after recording, like I'm worried about Ben. He's been reading a lot of Ted Kaczynski lately.
finished the Kingdom Hearts movie, and then a week later on Twitter, I'm like, the podcast is canceled. I am shutting down the Patreon.
I'm going to live in the woods.
This project has given me a lot of joy, but nothing can give me joy anymore.
I feel nothing now. I'm like dead inside. Yeah.
This was the bomber's final tweet before his murderous rampage.
Oh God. Okay, Ben. What's next?
One more article.
One more.
Most ambitious Vampire Survivors update yet features immersive door opening action and world premiere train mechanics.
Yeah!
They are calling this the quadruple A update.
I see.
I respect Vampire Survivors' commitment to never putting a vampire in their video game. It has a vampire as like the key art they use for everything. That fucker isn't in the video game.
The update includes 7 new achievements, 1 new challenge stage, 1 new bonus stage, 1 new character, 1 new weapon with its evolution, 1 new passive weapon, 1 new power up. This is not including the upcoming Konami DLC,
which is not with Castlevania.
Which is not Castlevania. It's Contra.
Yes, it's called
Contra.
Operation Gun.
Yeah.
I'm so mad that I love Vampire Survivors as much as I do. That game's so fucking good.
No, it's a game developed in a lab to make you personally insane. No,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The number go up so high.
That number goes so up is the thing, dude.
The most recent patch from today is called Patch 1.0 Laboratory. But the first, you know how that's a word that has 2 R's in it? Mm-hmm. The first R, which would be the one associated with labor, they put 2 R's there so that you know you're supposed to pronounce it laboratory.
Yes.
I see.
Like Dexter would.
Yes.
Great.
So, I might play some Vampire Survivors when we're done now that this update is out.
Yeah.
The thing about Vampire Survivors is there has never been an easier game to just go, you know what, I can play some Vampire Survivors.
Yeah. I've got 20 minutes to kill. I can play Vampire Survivors.
Nothing is going to stop you from, like, the thing is, it's super easy to just play a Vampire Survivors.
You just gotta survive the vampires.
Yeah.
You just gotta survive the vampires.
Well, you don't have to survive the vampires. There's no vampires in this game.
Oh, that's a good point. You're right.
That's true. You have to survive the everything else.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about this. I think the new character is Santa, if I'm looking at these screenshots correctly.
That's extraordinarily funny because their holy water item in the game has for the entire time been called Santa water.
It says hyper-realistic holiday themed question mark character.
Fantastic. I think Vampire Survivors, although it would go against their desire to not ever have a vampire in it, I do think they should just keep putting like public domain characters into it. So like Popeye and Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie version, and Sherlock Holmes. But not Dracula. Ironically, they should not put Dracula in there. They should put like Jay Gatsby in there though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yeah.
They should put the Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster and the Mummy in.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I think those might already be
Dracula.
in. They're just not called that. But I think those are in there. They should put Herman Melville's self-insert for Moby Dick.
Yeah,
you can just
absolutely.
have a sprite where he's like squeezing a big bucket full of whale spermatozoids.
Yeah,
just do that.
Declaring he's definitely not gay. It's fine.
Call me Fishmail.
Yeah, call me Fishmail. Yeah, no, that's what I think. I think they should put Jay Gatsby in Vampire Survivors.
I think they should put Vegeta in Vampire
Survivors. They should definitely put like a Sun Wukong and a Vegetable Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could we get the cast of Gintama in Vampire Survivors?
Yes.
I'm sure you can.
So the question is, which anime property is the most likely to cross over with Vampire Survivors, and I do think it is Gintama, right?
I would.
Gintama's up there.
I would posit the most likely one to cross over nowadays is Dungeon Meshi.
My personal go-to for this one, because I know they do it a lot, just like at every opportunity because it's funny, is the Slayers group. Because then you would continue to have a series of like weird fantasy that involves a creature from the Black Lagoon, a wolfman, a mummy, but no vampires.
Here's my actual suggestion, because I think it is funny. They should cross over with Persona 5 and then immediately announce end of service.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be extremely funny, is they should cross over with Persona 5 and then be like, well, no more updates for Vampire Survivor. Bye!
Here's the thing. A missed opportunity with this Konami thing, and who I think should be in Vampire Survivors, they should have put Vamp in there.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Everyone's like, so are you a vampire? It's like, no, I'm just bisexual.
I'm just bisexual and I've got nanomachines. It's like, okay, well, okay.
The thing is, they could get away with it with just making XPs all they want, because they already have a Bayonetta in here.
Right.
Oh, they have, like, every single playable character in this is a fucking unlicensed ripoff.
One of the secret characters is random, which is just a question mark. One of them is, like I said, very clearly just Bayonetta, but green.
Okay.
One of them is missing no. It's just a glitched out sprite that has random stats assigned to it.
That's great.
So yeah, they could just throw in whatever fucking XPs. I mean, like, of course, the main playable characters are just the Belmonts, but different.
Yeah, I think that actually is the funniest option, is if you just do the Belmonts but no vampires.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
I think
that is the game option currently.
Yeah, exactly.
What if you could get Blade in there and still they're not the other vampires?
Yeah.
What if we could get Jefferson Twilight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
He'd be so mad that he's stuck there and there's no Blackulas to kill.
No, here's the thing. You can put a Blackula. That is, for some reason, there is a technicality that you could say a Blackula is technically a distinct entity from a vampire, despite being obviously a vampire.
Yes, correct.
I love that plan. Yeah, absolutely. Crossover with Venture Brothers. I think that's your best option.
I agree. That's what they should do.
Oh, God.
You could do an extremely late crossover with Konosuba. Because everyone just wants to put those characters and everything.
Yeah,
I played through all of Noita with a mod that is like the most technically competent player character replacer mod for all of Noita, and it replaces your character with Megumin and gives her a unique spell that will guaranteed blow you up instantly if you don't know how to use it right.
Yes!
Perfect.
My girl.
That's perfect. Is that it? Are we done?
Yep, that'll be it. A little bit short news.
That was an easy one.
Yeah.
None of us have been doing shit.
That's right. It's fine.
So yeah, that'll do it for us. Special thanks to Visager for use of background music. You can follow us all on our social medias. Email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us. You can join our Discord. Check out our streams for Final Fantasy VII and what's left of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then probably get back to some Kingdom Hearts streaming after that, because the Nomura train doesn't stop.
That's right. We're never free from Final Fantasy or Tetsuya Nomura.
We're never Twitch TV's only dedicated Tetsuya Nomura video game streaming channel.
Yeah, exactly.
We are never not on the dope-ass Nomura train.
That's right.
Getting to the fun fucking part of the game.
When you least expect it, we're gonna play the Bouncer.
The Bouncer.
The Bouncer.
I'm gonna have to get that audio clip on the soundboard, so when we play the Bouncer, we can just spam it all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the dodgeball, because Saturn will not stop guessing the fucking plot.
Yeah.
If Saturn manages to predict the plot line of the Bouncer, I'll be genuinely impressed, though.
Now, to be fair, and like I I can't say like obviously because I don't really know anything of how my current prediction games for FF7 has been. I think Nomura might be Saturn dodgeball proof.
You've been pretty good in FF7 so far.
I don't know. I just feel like there's something about it where, like, he's unafraid to just do something that is completely unrelated to what is happening currently.
Sure,
like, just go off on a completely random tangent that's like, my pattern recognition is
completely
foiled.
thrown off. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like when people were briefly wearing that extremely garish-looking cyberpunk makeup to foil facial recognition before they figured out that didn't work. It's like that's what Nomura's writing does to my Saturn senses.
It's the writing equivalent of dazzle paint on a
exactly
on a like an aircraft carrier. Yeah,
exactly.
Nomura is very good at letting you figure out 70% of where he's going.
But it's impossible to can't figure out the other 70.
Yeah, that last 30 is going to take you for a ride.
That last 30 is him going, this happened because I thought it would be cool.
That's right.
And you go, I didn't expect it. Yeah, I guess you're right. It was pretty cool. I don't really understand what you were going for. And Nomura just goes, that's fine.
It's like when Togashi makes you climb up the skyscraper only to give up about 20 floors in.
Yeah.
The difference is, I understand why Togashi makes the decisions he makes.
Yeah, but you don't see it coming is the thing.
That's true.
Peanut, are you ready for us to be done?
I think that's the sound.
That's the noise.
Yeah.
What is that haunting little whine he's doing?
Are you possessed by a ghost?
Oh, I see he's hurgling. There's something about, like, the audio, like, the way it's coming through your mic. It sounds like he's making ghost noises.
It sounds like Sara is playing a like those Halloween ambiance records.
Any minute now you're going to hear Vincent Price going, and now for our feature presentation.
Yeah.
It sounds like you two right now with that hurgling, the way it comes through. It sounds like you're being haunted in Fatal Frame.
It's just Peanut hurgling.
You hear that sound, you're like, oh, you're playing Resident Evil, and then, oh, there's a zombie in this room.
No.
I need to make sure I watch out for where that thing spawned from.
No, it's just Peanut.
All right, what do we got for the end of this episode?
Fuck Don's dad.
Yeah, I'll get
there
behind
you
that
go.
one.
Fucking freeze. Yeah, absolutely. That works.
Yeah,
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.